What the fuck has happened, lads? I take 2 months off for a spiritual wellness retreat, which, for legal reasons, definitely wasn't a rehab visit to Manchester. And the entire F1 grid decides to go feral. Just to make sure we're on the same page, since I left, Oscar Piastri's basically the second coming of Christ. Albon's no longer just a friendly thigh guy on the grid. The man's putting Williams back on the leaderboard like it's 1997. And Ferrari? Oh, bless their red little hearts. They've somehow managed to slide even further behind the front runners. Okay, fair enough. Some things never change. It feels like even before I was fucking born, Ferrari was still chaotic, tragic, and making me question how the fuck they're still considered a top team. And this year, they've chucked close to $500 million at Lewis Hamilton. Believe it or fucking not. I know it sounds absurd. It's a massive figure. But I saw it in an article headline when scrolling through my feed. So trust me, I'm definitely not going to read the whole article to make sure the number's legit. If you want to, go fucking ahead, mate. But the investment hasn't exactly paid off. Not really. And today, I decided, let's fucking fix it. Let's figure out what's actually gone wrong for the lads in red and make sure it doesn't fucking happen again, mate. Alright? Can't be that difficult, can it? Now, let's not pretend Ferrari isn't the stuff of motorsport legend. They are one of the initial few mega teams that started in the sport. Red cars, prancing horse, Tifosi bawling their eyes out every year at Monza, all that sexy nostalgic shit. You've got Schumacher's dynasty in the early 2000s, 5 titles back to back, dominance so violent it should have been illegal. But since then, nothing. Nothing but pain. Just to put things into perspective here, the last time the boys in red won a championship, alright, was 2007. Kimi fucking Raikkonen was the last lad to win in the red. And then you've got Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, absolute titans of the sport, stepping into Maranello with hope and leaving with a therapist on speed dial. So, no, this is not a driver issue. Something's rotten in Maranello, and I don't think it's old Enzo anymore. I think there's just bones and stuff left over here. Alright, let's get clinical. If we're diagnosing Ferrari, we need to know what actually makes a winning F1 team. There are 3 key things that make a team win. The car, obviously, the drivers, and the strategy. So, let's go one at a fucking time, mate. This is Formula 1. You don't win championships if your car is not the fastest fucking moving thing on this planet. You can have the greatest driver alive, but if the car handles like a wet shopping trolley, you're toast. And in fairness, Ferrari's budget is massive. If they wanted to, could invade a small Balkan state levels of massive. So yeah, the car is capable. But capable doesn't cut it anymore, You've got weird aero inconsistencies, tired egg like they're made of Swiss cheese, and race pace that disappears the second the track temp is 1 degree above lukewarm. It seems the only track the thing was capable on was Monaco. And, well, we all saw how that went. But it's not particularly bad, but it's not really good either, It's like when you go out in Naples and order a nice Peroni or an Ignuso, and when you get it, it's, not really cold, but also not super warm. So you're not about to raise a fuss with the waiter about it exactly, but the f*** is not getting any tip from me, mate. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm a fucking pussy. I'd be fucking scared to raise a fuss. Definitely not in fucking Naples, mate. Those guys are built different. I'll drink that shit boiling if I need to. Let's not lie. Ferrari's lineup is fucking mint, mate. This is the one thing that is quite difficult to find a fault with, actually. Leclerc, that monegasque wonderkind with the puppy eyes and a girlfriend that looks exactly identical to his ex-girlfriend. Just, longer legs, a little slimmer, and more tan. And Hamilton, if we start talking about ex-girlfriends here, this might take a while. On paper, you've got a combo that should be taking them to the fucking moon and back. But here's the rub. It's 2 alphas on the team now. Before, Charlie was the clear favourite, and now it's a bit lopsided, And McLaren can play that game all they want. They have fucking points to spare between those 2 Muppets. Ferrari doesn't have that luxury. I say, they just fucking pick one. Let the other one go. And at this point, it has to be Hamilton. You've invested too much into marketing, making Charlie look like the most adorable, absurdly wealthy white boy that has ever been. It would be a waste to throw that away now. But tossing Lewis might not be so easy anymore as well. He's got lawyer money now, Will be difficult to swing it. Unless you did it, The old Italian way. A loose wire here, cut brake line there, bada bing, bada boom, you've got one less driver to worry about. Now, here's where things fall off a fucking cliff, alright? Ferrari's strategy department is like a bunch of toddlers playing 4D chess while blindfolded. A box now. Oh wait, no, stay out. Oh god, we double stacked and gave Charlie tires meant for a fucking tractor. It's comedy gold. Unless you're a Ferrari fan, in which case it's just more visits to the fucking therapist. This has consistently cost them races. It's not a new issue. It's just, the most visible one. But that's a race here, a race there. This does not explain the utter trash they've been displaying for the past 15 years. It's something more than that. We've got to dig deeper, mate. Sebastian didn't lose 3 inches of hairline over a couple shitty strategy calls. Now, this is where the rot comes from, in my opinion. It's rotten from deep within. Ferrari's leadership structure has been a revolving door of poor management. From Arriva Bene to Binotto to now Vasseur, it's been one long game of musical chairs of Italian bravado with no fucking clear direction. They're obsessed with hierarchy, with politics, with protecting the brand image, everything but performing and being consistent in races. And I get it. It's an Italian-based luxury car brand. There's bound to be 15 cooks in the kitchen, all screaming at each other, throwing their hands, and all trying to bake the same fucking pizza. But you need some structure in this sport, mate. You can no longer purely rely on your deepest fucking pockets and some star driver to take you over the line. It can still be a beautiful Italian mess of talent, mild swearing, and all other manners of frivolities. Don't get me wrong, but it has to be an organized mess. So, TLDR, you can have the best car, the sharpest drivers, and still tank the whole season if no one's steering the fucking ship. And right now, I know Freddie's cooking. He's really trying, mate. But for now, it feels more like the chef still needs to enter a shouting match with his cooks every time to make sure they wash their hands before they start prepping the dough. Now, Ferrari didn't need a dream team. They needed a culture transplant. Culture. Now, maybe a colon transplant as well from all the ass fuck. Right now, they've got all the right tools and just no fucking clue how to use them. They signed Hamilton thinking they were going to spend their way to the championship, but turns out they just bought a front row seat to yet again another fucking failure of a season. A very expensive front seat at that, mate. Is there hope? Maybe. But until that leadership gets its act together, this Ferrari dream is still just a fucking nightmare. Alright, I've said my piece. Get off the internet, mate. Go touch some grass. And sell that Ferrari hoodie. You know you're not going to wear it anytime soon.